Hi, welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch. Once again, I'm joined by a guest that I'm fascinated by. I only just met recently, and I thought that, you would be fascinated by this guest as well. So I'm joined here by a woman with the greatest name in town, Nikki Glock. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm very good, thanks, Chase. Thanks for having me.
Now, first of all, when I say Nikki Glock, I had to ask, whoa, where'd you get that name from?
It's a name that's just stuck with us for years. It was a name that my dad had. Obviously, we've taken my dad's name, but my real name or my proper cast name is McLaughlin.
Wow.
But McLaughlin was shortened many years ago, and it's just been passed down through the family now to a point of where most of my friends have always just called me Nikki Glock. They've never called me Nikki McLaughlin. It's always been Nikki Glock. And one friend I've had for about 30 years, she said to me about 5 years ago, I can't believe your name's McLaughlin. I said, we've only been friends for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
She said, I always thought your name was Nikki Glock. So I feel like Nikki Glock more than Nikki McLaughlin.
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, I must say, also you're a holistic therapist, but you are a woman of many talents, wearing many hats. So this is only one job, but basically right now you've been working for the past 2 years for Care Merseyside.
I have, yeah. I absolutely love my role in Care Merseyside. Oops, sorry. And I feel like it was meant to be, how we got together and how it happens, how I ended up at Care Merseyside. And I love the fact that we can help people that are now being referred from the GP.
Yeah.
So when I have my clients, my clients approach me, the differences with Care Merseyside is it's a referral from the doctor. So these people may not have ever even considered holistic therapies until, one of our amazing link workers, either Britt or Ruth, will pick a client up, find out what the client's needs are, identify what the needs are, and then maybe they will pass them on to me and say, work with this client. They're willing to try some holistic therapy. So there are people that have never tried it before, and they're getting really stuck into it, which I love.
Yeah, because they're working with a mature older group.
Yes.
But basically, one of their main remits is around social prescribing.
Yes.
And everything else like that. So we love Care Merseyside here. But also, too, is that you have your own company involved in holistic therapy. So many different types of therapies. You kind of like have been training yourself in various different aspects of it. From EFT to NLP. This is amazing.
I love to learn. I'm very, very, very lucky that I've got a very inquisitive brain. So
a very what?
Inquisitive brain.
Inquisitive brain.
Inquisitive brain, yeah. Like why? I'm a why. Why is that like that? Why does that do that?
Yeah.
How come that's like that? So I always have to find out. And these are little modalities and options that seem to have just fallen in my lap along the way. Well, I say fallen in my lap. If I'm honest, it was universal alignment, putting something out of the universe, and that alignment present itself to me. So I've been.
Because you said you're a have-a-goer.
I am a have-a-goer. Yeah.
I'll
have a go.
I have a go. Yeah, I'll have a go at that. Yeah, that's all good. Basically being a have-a-goer, someone has to do more than one thing. Make money more than one way. And another way that you do it is that you also act as a front of house involved in a catering company.
Yeah.
But this one is like, what I thought was interesting is that you're pretty much on call for movies, music?
Music.
Art, yeah.
Music mostly. Art as well sometimes, but mostly music, mostly bands.
Yeah, because you said you work with a lot of roadies.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
And this holistic stuff comes in handy. I love doing front of house, and I'll always probably dip in and out. Someone once said to me when I started the job on the road, this will always be a difficult quandary for you, because when you're doing it and you're doing those long hours every day, and you've been on the road for 3 weeks and you're thinking, all I want is my own bed. Yeah. But then when you walk away from it and say, I'm done with being on the road, then there's always that pull. There's always the pull. Just one more little tour. Just one more. And I can't lie, I really enjoy myself when I do it.
Life on the road's got to be weird and interesting. Are you on the tour bus kind of thing?
On the tour bus, yeah.
Wow.
So on the tour bus, depending. So it's on the tour bus, obviously, if we're just going straight to the next gig. So basically what it is, we will turn up at a venue and it's an empty room, and then we turn that empty room into a kitchen and into a dining area. Now, at the end of the night, you can imagine that's all got to go back into flight cases, loaded back onto the bus. Now, if we're in onto the next city straight away, we'll sleep on the bus. Hopefully, if we've got a day off the next day, then we go to a hotel and we enjoy our day off. So it's nice. I've been very lucky in the people that I've met as well along it. My life, I feel like my life's just been lucky. It really has. But yeah, I've met lovely people that have always encouraged me and showed, you know, I didn't know anything about it. And people have taken the time to show me and spend time nurturing me, really. So, yeah. I like that little job.
You know, what was interesting to me was, like, when we met, the... I'll say the other night, it was probably a little bit while ago, but, you you were telling me the story of this famous person you met. Now, to put into context, I'll say that, I, like everybody else, was following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial and everything. And, because it was one of those, like, OJ trials.
Yeah.
That was, like, recorded live on television, and you watched it every day and stuff like that. And, when it came down to the verdict, Johnny said, look, win or lose, I don't care. I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
And then he went off to, I think, Sheffield or something like that. Because the trial was in America. And, like, where's Johnny? He's off playing with his band and everything. But it turns out you were there.
Yeah. It was interesting that, actually, because I don't read the newspapers. I live in Nikki's world. And I like it.
World?
Nikki's world.
I
like it in Nikki's world. Everything is nice, fluffy. Everyone gets along. I love it. So I don't like to watch the news. I don't read the newspapers. I don't really know what's going on, and I know that may seem ignorant to some people.
No.
But for someone like me, if I start ingesting all that information, it brings me down. I just like to stay as upbeat as I can about things that I can't control. So I try and stay away from it all. So, of course, all this big trial's going on, and I hear people talking about it, and honestly, it held no interest to me whatsoever. And I'm feeling a little bit bad, thinking two people playing out their private lives in a courtroom. Wouldn't like it to be me, but hey ho, that's up to them. People do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And so when we started on the Jeff Beck tour, we were into it for about 5 days, and my boss, the owner of the company, rang us and said, Johnny Depp's supposed to be turning up on this tour. Obviously, I wasn't aware that he was going to come to England, so I was like, oh yeah. And then I just went down into my dining room, I like to call it. Went down into my dining room, and I had to take a second glimpse. I thought, oh my God, he's like from here to there. And I was like, doesn't he look like Johnny Depp? And then I thought,
doesn't he look like Johnny Depp?
And then I thought, it is. So then I started getting all a little bit googly-eyed and a bit wobbly, and I was like, and then the other side of my brain is saying, it's okay, Nikki, he's just a person like you. He's just a person like you. He's got more money than you. He's got a better job than you right now, but he's just a person the same as you.
He's just on the same tour you are.
Yeah. And you know what? He turns out, I don't know what people thought of their own opinions of whether he did it, whether he didn't do it. I don't know. I always speak as I find. A person could be so close to me and say, I feel this about that person. That's fine, that's your opinion, but I need to witness that for myself. And if I don't, I can't take your words as the last word, because I haven't experienced it. So I can only speak as I find what I found with him, and he was absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
He was a delight. I was doing Reiki on him. He had a sore
now,
shoulder.
This is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, couldn't help it.
Did you lay your hands on Johnny?
I certainly did. And do you know what? Every day that man came in, and he'd give you a big hug, and he'd say, thank you so much for everything. And to me, that goes a long way. He didn't have to. I mean, I've worked with some people, and, that's them, but they make you feel like... They make you feel, because you're dependent on how you make yourself feel. But sometimes you feel in a situation of like, I really am a worker here. And I don't like that feeling, because without this team feeding the lampies and the videographers and everything like that, it wouldn't go ahead. So everyone's as important as each other.
Everybody's in the same mulligan stew.
Yes, that's it.
And I mean, like, this is what I like about, the entertainment industry, because I used to, work in the entertainment industry myself, and I always found that I'm not going to, be one of those that are just, like, genuflecting to the artists, because we're all in here Same time, there's too many other people that could genuflect,
Yeah.
and everything else like that. I think they'd rather just be hanging out in the back room, doing whatever they're doing, and just having like a good old time. Just like when you said about people, you're probably not the only one who ignores politics in the news because you got too much going on in what is considered your real world. Do you know what I mean? To
Yeah.
be bothered by all of that.
And
So,
I also say to my clients is when I say look at your diet, that doesn't just mean food. That means your whole lifestyle.
Right.
What are you ingesting in a number of ways, not just through food or, what kind of effect is all that news having on you every time you're watching it and you're hearing about mortgage rates and whatever else, and there isn't enough money for this and there isn't enough money for that. It'd just be so easy to just allow yourself to get into that same state of like a state of worry and despair. But
Yeah.
that's not going to get us anywhere, is it?
no.
That isn't making light of what's going on, because I know some poor people are forced into a really serious situation.
Sure.
So that isn't making light of it. However, I don't think that perpetuating all that worry helps us to achieve anything, and it helps us to get out of it.
Well, it's kind of like one of the reasons why you consider yourself a transformational coach, as you say, because, in that aspect, it's the way you look at things.
Yeah.
And so, starting your own company, which you had done, like, during the pandemic, as you say, you're now at that stage where you're, like, preparing your own studio, right?
I'm
Now
excited.
you've already had one in the basement.
Yes, in the basement, yes.
Yes, in the basement, in the dark. But now you're going to be in the garage.
Oh, I'm in the garage.
In the garage.
The garage,
No,
yes. Or the studio.
And it has windows. And it has windows and everything. So, when is this going to be finished? Because I think you said you're in the middle of still setting it up.
A non-negotiable time scale of 1st of September. Yeah,
non-negotiable.
I've put that in, because I can't.
You have to have a set kind
Yes, because it's so
goal.
easy for me to fall into procrastination land where I am the queen.
Yeah.
So it's so easy for me to fall into that role. So I'm trying not to. I'm saying 1st of September, and that's it. Because right now we're doing some free yoga in the park, which is lovely.
Ooh,
but
free
after that,
yoga in the park.
because I think
Where are you doing
it's
that at?
in Victoria Park in Southport. It's right by where I live. So so when the seasons start to change, these gorgeous women who are turning up every Sunday, we're going to need a roof, aren't we? So
Yeah.
the studio will become our roof.
The studio, yes. So that's pretty nice.
Thank
you. Now the thing about it is that, will this thing be, will the studio, not thing, be on offer for everyone? Will this be one of those business operations because you do a lot of stuff for free? Or would this be you going into business mode?
I don't think I'll ever fully get into full business mode, if I'm honest. I always remember my dad saying to me when I had a previous business, I used to have a clothes shop for many years, and my dad said, "You're not ruthless enough to be in business." I was like, "Oh, thanks for the confidence, J Dad." But I don't know if I wanted, I don't know even if I could like magic it to myself, whether I'd never want to be that ruthless.
Yeah.
Because then I'd start tormenting myself and feeling bad about myself. So I like having this happy medium of being able to say, I can help people and I'm happy to take paying clients. But on the other hand, not everyone's in that same boat. So let's see how we can weigh it out a little bit. Get some paying clients and offer some clients who are not in that same position.
Well, you know what? That's very magnanimous of you. And the thing about it is always good to be, when I was doing, counseling and stuff like that, I never really charged. Because I was kind of thinking that, I'm kind of doing this in my training, I was doing it for free anyway, so it felt difficult to switch from doing something for free to charging somebody.
Yeah.
And I know it's the system, you go to a counselor, you're paying £50 an hour or whatever, something like that. And I really just felt bad about it because I'm only here to help.
Yeah.
And basically, if I'm here to help, I'm here to reflect. You know what I mean? So it's kind of help you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
How do I charge for that?
Exactly. And I think what's difficult about the things that we do, services that we offer, they're intangible, aren't they? So,
Yeah.
for instance, if I had the clothes shop and you came in and you said, Nikki, I want to buy that jacket, I would always give you a discount because I couldn't help myself, and I'd think, well, you know, they're my friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd give you a bit of discount on that jacket, but I'd still charge you for the jacket because I've paid out that money for the jacket. So
This is true.
at least have got to recoup that money back for the jacket.
Exactly.
That's tangible. When something's intangible like the services we offer, that makes it a lot more difficult.
And it dilutes what's coming from your heart in a way.
Yes, absolutely. But in saying that, I am now at a stage in my life of where to go. If I'm honest, I hate to admit it, but I'm 7 years off blooming pension. So now I've got to start thinking a little bit smarter because I want to get to a point of where I'm doing everything that I love. I'm halfway there. And I do most of the things that I love. But there are times when I have to do things that I don't love in order to get a studio floor or in order to get a new ceiling put in the studio or whatever. Right now, I want to just get to a point of saying everything I do in my life is what I love.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the heart for it. And also, too, is the fact that sometimes, like, you give what you get. And paying it forward in a way, you know, things come to those who deserve it.
I need to just rewind a minute. Why didn't you fall off your chair when I said I'm 7 years away from pension age? You were supposed to go like that then.
No way! Actually, I didn't know.
What the hell?
It could have been right. Yeah, I could have said I didn't know which
Yeah,
way.
I know you just said no so nonchalantly. Oh yeah, you know you're 60. Thanks, Chase.
Me too, there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Don't be dragging me in because you are. Don't be dragging me into.
Oh God! Now I'm being counseled. Basically, I was asking. I love her. I was asking you, do you have any events coming up?
So I've got a couple of events coming up in September, but I haven't pinned down the date. So I need to just pin down the date. So I am doing a little introduction day, a little introduction to law of attraction, introduction
to the law of attraction.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, introduction to the law of attraction. Introduction.
I love that story, The Secret.
Oh, I love it. So that's what starts. So I feel like this is always meant to be my path. Honestly, I do. And I know you get people who say it now and they go, it's meant to be my path.
Yeah.
But I've had more careers than I could eat. You would be here till tomorrow if I started telling you about the careers. And my mum used to say to me, Nikki, you're like a bloody frog. Just choose one thing and stick at it. And I go, but mum, I can't, because then my interest would go. But I feel like now I'm at the point of my life that where all those jobs that I've done, I've counted, because now I'm at the point of where I go, that's it. I know what I don't want to do, and I definitely know what I want to do.
That's good.
And seeing I'm so fortunate like yourself to be in a position where we can try and help people, and seeing people come in and after a few weeks being a different person. Like I had a client on the phone the other day, and when I started with him, he was a nervous wreck. And the other day he was like, all cocky over the Zoom. I was like, look at you. And he was like, yeah, look at me. And just being able to offer that help to people, to be able to live this best life. Why shouldn't we all be able to live this best life?
Exactly. You know, and that's currency. You know, you can't beat that with a bat. You know, you can't take that to the bank and stuff. That's currency and everything. So for people, when you make that decision, you know, we usually ask people what it is, social handles, like how can people find you?
Well, I'm on LifeCalm. I do go by 2 different names. LifeCalm.
Is that on Insta?
On Instagram, yeah. But I haven't been very good on my Instagram, to be honest with you. I know, it's very
naughty.
naughty. It's very naughty. So my friends call me Foff.
Foff?
Yeah. And Foff means feast or famine. So in true Tory and Nikki style, I won't post for 6 months and then post 29 in a day and then leave it then again for 6 months. I'm trying to, I do post on my personal one, which is called Switch Vegan. So I need to just start getting the Switch Vegan stuff off over to the LifeCalm now.
Well, also, too, is you can't have all these multiple names, you know, because, like, what it is how do people even find you? Because neither one was Nikki Glock.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, obviously, you know, you probably want it to be a company Instagram, but you have to make a decision, because what happens is like, when you're on your socials, it's like I need to be able to go to there, and then it's consistent.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Switch Vegan to LifeCalm. How do I make that connection?
I know. So thank you. I know. I need to do that. So I need to be a little bit
Well,
stricter on myself.
Just choose one.
Yeah.
And LifeCalm is a good one.
So the Switch Vegan isn't part of LifeCalm. So Switch Vegan
I can imagine
my personal one. So,
I can imagine, but it's still personal, but it's still not Nikki Glock, and it still doesn't make me know who that is. I mean, if I, you know how many people scroll, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I mean, like, even this interview, it's like if I say I'm fascinated in you and what you got coming up, and I want to be a part of it and stuff. Neither of those will let me, except for LifeCalm. Well, oh, there she is.
So, do you know, in a couple of weeks you're going to say, oh my God, who's this person exploded onto this Instagram? Who is this LifeCalm? Who is she?
We did that at exactly the same time. What's up with that?
You should be doing TikTok.
But you know what it is? Because I can't, it takes me hours to dangle them out. I'm like,
new dangle, new
fangle. I'm just like, oh, how'd you do that? And how'd you have the music? And I'm like, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But if you said to me, Nikki, do you want to go and do this streaky treatment? I'd be like, yes, love it. But then I'm like, when it comes to Instagram. But I'm at a point now where I realise it all goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish it didn't, but it does.
And well, it's the new thing, and being as you say where you are on your lifeline of time.
Well, in the later years, you mean? Towards my 40s.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, yeah.
Must have been a little blip before.
Somebody doesn't know math.
They're my kinds of people.
No, well, hey,
Do you know, I've got a funny story about that. I was 10 years younger on the Facebook one time, and my friend phoned me. There's typically Scouse girl who said, you best get something done with that head. Anyway, she phoned me one day and she went, what are you doing? I went, what have I done now? She went, why are you on the Facebook page 10 years younger? I said, 2 reasons. Firstly, because I can. And second reason, I'm in control of the keyboard. Bye. Just became a bit awkward though when people were sending me requests. Are you going to our school reunion? No, I wasn't in your year.
Yeah, I wasn't in your year. Yeah, and that's the thing about Facebook, as the kids say, is for the old. But the thing about Facebook is, like, I love Facebook memories. So it shows you how long I've been on Facebook since the beginning. That I can actually go back like 13 years on Facebook.
Wow!
And
to
see
when
my
you were
status
23.
Update. Yeah, exactly. To when I was 23. Yeah.
I see you in your 20s.
Yeah. Oh, you should see this really snazzy outfit I was wearing.
See, isn't this no math thing brilliant?
Oh yeah, this no math thing is great.
It?
You know what I mean? I love my whole John Travolta look. You got to see it.
You can have free entry into Nikki's world now.
Oh yeah, that's what it be. Yeah, that's what it be all about and stuff. But Nikki, this has been a fascinating conversation. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
I've had a lovely time. Thank you so much to you and Phil for having me.
Well, usually I like to bring Phil into the conversation and everything else like that. Yeah, Phil, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, you've been a bit quiet, Phil. I'm scared to move away from me, Mike.
I was gonna mention Phil because the factor is, with Nikki being a Reiki master and everything like that, and having a Reiki master of her own, Phil also used to do Reiki and everything like that. You know what I mean? But Phil was waiting for me to probably point that out. He said no. He said no.
If I would have known that, I would have got down here 10 minutes early and said, Phil, do a bit of Reiki on me before this, please.
Yeah, there you go, Phil. There's the client. Never too late. Never too late.
What time's that team's talk, did you say?
No, listen, Nikki, it's been excellent. And I wish you luck on this new studio. Maybe, I get invited down or something like that.
Absolutely.
Who never knows? Well, hey, I have so many problems.
Ginger shot on arrival, boys.
Ginger shot?
Whoa. If you're lucky, I might put a bit of rum in there for you as well.
Whoa. You love to tell people that. I get a ginger shot with rum when I arrive? Yeah. All right. No wonder this Reiki works.
I came in here covered in pain and it's gone. I've got to get Carrie to the station, but it's gone.
Is that the secret? Is that the secret? Yeah, you know. I mean, she talked about EFT and everything. You know, it's like, whoa. Yeah.
Have another rum.
Have another one. I feel so calm. I feel so relaxed.
I can see clearly now the pain has gone.
All right, now we're demonetized. Thank you. But don't sing it on this show. Anyway, we have to end this thing because Phil's never gave me the signal. So I have no clue as how long we've been talking. But either way, we look
Are we having the signal, Phil?
Yeah,
about now.
Oh, about now, that's great.
About now.
So either way we look at it is time has flown by for me. So I hope it has flown by for you. I'd like to thank my guest, Nikki Glock.
Thank
and
you
everything.
so much.
And, you know, I've been your host, Chase Johnson Lynch. You've been watching the Liverpool Community Podcast here on Big Condo and everything like that. And, you know, please like and subscribe. If you want to find out more about what Nikki's doing, when she got coming up in September, follow her on LifeCalm on all the socials, but mainly on Insta.
Yes.
Where she'll hopefully make it, that's the only one you can find her on.
All right.
Hopefully. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye. Peace.